Let's go back to Florida, where it's day one of testimony in the deadly son murder trial for 17-year-old Collin Griffith. He's being tried as an adult, and he called 911 on a Sunday evening last fall to report that his mom was bleeding badly from the neck. Griffith told officers that his mother, Kathy, fell on a knife during an argument, but prosecutors say that Griffith's story doesn't add up. They also have the additional information that he also killed his father and said that was self-defense. This jury knows about a killing, but they don't know that it was his other parent. Let's go in now. The state's next witness has taken the stand, another neighbor who witnessed part of the altercation between Griffith and his mother.
Introduce yourself to the jury.
Yes, my name is Nancy K. Jones.
And what community do you live in?
I live in the Hamptons.
Do you live across from a lady named Susan Detman?
Yes, I do.
And have you gotten to know her from living across from her for a while?
Yes, I have.
Are you aware that she has a grandson named Collin Griffith?
Yes, I am aware.
Has you seen him periodically coming and going over the time you've lived there?
Yes, I have.
Now, I want to direct your attention specifically to September 8th of 2024, which is a Sunday, when something out of the ordinary happened on your block. Do you remember, first of all, seeing the defendant at his grandmother's house at all that weekend, Saturday and or Sunday?
No, just the car.
All right, and the car being what color car?
It was a black.
And was it parked under the carport?
Yes, it was.
On a certain time on Sunday, did you happen to notice another car arrive at the house?
Yes, a white car.
Describe to the jury what you saw.
A white car pulled into the driveway, immediately sped out of the driveway, and then parked on the street.
Had you ever seen that white car before?
I believe I did last winter.
Did anyone get out of the white car?
Yes.
Up until this point, had you seen the Susan Detman's grandson outside or not?
Last winter I did.
Okay, but on Sunday you hadn't seen him at this point?
No.
All right, continue on. What happened when the car ended up parking on the street? What happened next?
The lady, well, I was a young girl, got out of the car, slammed the door, slung her purse over her shoulder, and proceeded into the house.
Had you ever seen the young lady before?
Not personally one-on-one, but I've seen the car over there. I thought it was granddaughter. She looked very young.
And where did you say the young lady went?
She immediately went into the house.
Where were you when you saw this?
I was sitting on my lanai.
And where's that at? In the front?
Yes, in the front.
All right. Did you think anything of it when that happened?
Nothing.
What happened next?
What happened next? I went back to the house and started doing some dishes and stuff. And then I walked back outside and sat down on my lanai. And then I seen, do you want me to go into the details now?
Yes.
I seen the lady standing on the top step, and I just seen an arm come out and grab her by the shoulder, by her hair, and I just turned my head and immediately went back into the house.
Did you see who the person was that grabbed her by the shoulder and the hair?
No, never seen his face, never seen anything. All I seen was the shoulder and the hand come out.
And then what happened after the person grabbed her shoulder and hair?
I don't know. I went back into the house.
And then at any point did you realize that law enforcement had responded?
Yeah, about 40, maybe 45 minutes later, I was in my kitchen and I heard sirens and everything. I turned around and I seen cop cars in my yard, and they were everywhere.
So besides the white car that pulled up, the only car that you had seen at the house was the black car, is that right?
That was it.
And I'm going to show you a picture. You can see it on the screen close to you. It's 167. And I wanted to know, Can you see where...
I don't know which is which.
All right, no problem. That was going to be my question.
My car has the red trucks.
Yeah, I hear you. So this here, we've heard testimony, is Susan Detman's house.
Okay.
Which house is yours?
This is mine.
Okay, and for the record, I'm going to walk back up to the big screen. Is this the house you're pointing to as being your house?
Yes.
Okay. And from your view, is it kind of tough to see inside the Miss Detman's doorway?
It's catacornered, yes.
All right. I have no further questions for you, man.
Ross, Mr. Hendry? Yes, Your Honor, thank you. I do have a few questions for you.
Thank you.
Ms. Jones, you said that you knew Miss Detman, correct?
Very.
She's been your neighbor? Okay.
Yep.
How long?
I don't know how long she had been living there, and it was probably 6 months.
Okay. And you had previously seen her grandson at the house?
Last February, I believe it was.
Okay. How many times had you seen him before?
I've seen him about 3 times. I think he was there like 3 weeks, maybe, and he was out running. I just seen him running. I'm assuming it was a family member.
You were assuming he was a family member?
Yeah.
Okay. So you never spoken with him?
Never spoken with
you
him.
didn't actually know their relationship?
No.
Okay.
None.
And the woman you saw, you had never seen her before?
No. I'd seen her. She drove up in the car, but I'd never personally met her or anything.
And when you said drive up in the car, are you talking previously? Like you had seen
Last
that?
winter.
Okay.
I'd seen the car over there.
Now, on September 8th, when you see that white car arrive, you described that you saw it speeding out of the driveway.
Yeah.
Is that like tires screeching in reverse?
She was, yeah, kind of. She was angry.
Okay. And you said that she slammed her door and threw her purse on.
She slammed her purse up on her shoulder and immediately went up to the house.
Okay, so from your perspective, she looked like she was upset?
Yes.
Okay. And then you said the next time you saw her she was standing on the porch steps?
Yes, on the porch steps.
So you didn't see her outside at all in between those 2 periods of time?
Before she was standing up on the steps, she was throwing clothes in the car.
Okay, so you saw her at which car?
She was throwing clothes into Collin's car. The door was open and she was throwing clothes into the car.
And that would be the black car that was parked in the carport?
Yes.
And you're calling that Collin's car because you saw the other person get out of the white car, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you hadn't actually seen the black car arrive?
No, but I knew that was Collin's car because I'd gotten a phone call because I was house sitting for Susan.
Okay. So you were aware that Collin was coming?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I knew Collin was there the Saturday before the accident happened.
Okay. And so you see a woman go into the house angry, and then she comes out with clothes and starts putting them in the black car. Did it look like she had calmed down?
I just didn't really pay that much attention to it like she'd calmed down, but she was throwing the clothes, so I'm assuming she was still upset. I don't know.
Okay, now
I'm still across the street, so I don't know.
When you say throwing clothes, are we talking like into the car? Okay, so
the
not
door
placing.
was open, so like throwing them in there.
And did you see her open the door?
I never seen her open the door.
Okay. So you weren't sitting and watching this whole incident?
Oh, no. I was busy in the kitchen and stuff.
All right. Now, you said that you saw a hand come out and touch a shoulder on the steps. Did you hear anything?
I never heard nothing. I turned my head and went back into the house and got busy again.
And from your perspective, did it look like the person was getting dragged into the house?
No. I just, like I said, when I seen the hand come out and grab her by the shoulder, I turned and went back into the house, and I said, they'll probably work it out. I thought it was his sister or Susan's granddaughter. And I said, they're probably having a little spat, and they'll work it out.
But you didn't call 911?
No, I never called 911.
Now, would you say that this type of thing is something that is typical in your neighborhood?
No.
This was a unique
I lived in
instance?
Chicago for 30 years, and I seen a lot in Chicago. So in Chicago, we see something, we usually turn the head the other way, and I know cops say if you see something, hear something, you're supposed to report. I didn't think anything more about it.
So this wasn't something that was so dangerous to you, you felt the need to report it?
I did not feel good.
And, I mean, now the incident with the woman's going in, mad, do people often, spin their tires in your neighborhood, anything like that?
No.
So the whole instance was pretty unique?
Yes.
Okay. Now, after law enforcement arrived, was that the end of your night, or did you have
Oh, there was so many cops and stuff. No, I sit out on my lanai, and they just kept coming and coming. And then all the neighbors were out in the yard. We had no idea what went on.
Okay. Now, you're friends with Susan, correct?
Yes, I am.
Did you contact her?
I contacted her, yes, when I seen all the cop cars. I immediately called her.
Okay. And did you make any efforts to contact Collin?
Oh, no.
Did you see him after the instance?
Yes, I did.
Okay, where was he?
He was in the driveway.
How did he look?
And his arms were red, and the cops were all around him. And I was on the phone talking to Susan, and Susan told me to go over and tell him that she would be there in a couple hours, or wherever she was at. She was in the Keys. And so I walked outside, and I waved at Collin, and I said, Susan's on her way.
From your perspective, did he look upset?
He looked very emotional, yes. He'd been crying. I could see him crying in the driveway.
So you could tell his face was red? Or
oh, yeah, he was an emotional wreck.
Okay.
But I did not know what happened.
And, we've seen the aerial photos. This is not a very wide roadway that you're from across the street, correct? Like from your house to her house, it's close. 2 cars
passing.
So you were able to get a good eye view on Collin at that moment?
From my lanai, yes.
And I'm talking when you walked out there, you're close enough that you could see him?
Well, his arms were red. I didn't know. I thought they were like you had been in a scuffle with somebody. Somebody grabs your arm and they turn red. That's what I looked like. It was a scuffle.
So he's got red arms. His face is red. It looks like he's been crying, too?
He looked like he'd been crying.
Okay. And this was what time, would you say?
4:40, 50, or somewhere around there, whenever the cops got there.
So this is after the cops have arrived, and they have him outside?
They have him outside.
And prior to that, you had not seen him?
I had not seen him.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Is the witness?
All right, that's it for the second neighbor witness, and we've been calling them eyewitnesses, but they didn't see the stab, so they're more like before and after witnesses. Let's bring in trial attorneys, 2 fantastic trial attorneys in California. We've got Dante Pointer and Lateef Gray both with us. Let's talk about how the defense is using these state witnesses to their advantage. Dante, they were able to get this witness to confirm that Collin looked like an emotional wreck and had red on his arms like he'd been grabbed.
Absolutely. The defense is doing a good job trying to turn the witnesses and get the nuggets of information that they think will help build their case towards reasonable doubt and or acquittal. And so that's what the defense is tasked with doing. However, seeing him as an emotional wreck and understanding that he had a hand in killing his mother, although he says it's self-defense, and that he had some type of redness about his arms, can also be used for the prosecution to say, yeah, he was an emotional wreck. He just dragged his mother in the house and stabbed her to death. That in and of itself doesn't mean that it was self-defense or that he should walk free. That may just be more proof that he understood the magnitude of what he had just done.
Lateef, what do you think about the strength of these witnesses who didn't see enough to cause them alarm? They didn't call 911, but you did hear this last witness say that the mother looked angry when she arrived there at the house and she was throwing clothes into a car, which the defense says was her trying to force her son to leave his grandmother's house to come back and live with her.
Yeah, so from the defense's perspective with these prosecution witnesses, the goal is to minimize the harm of their testimony. So the fact that he was emotional, the fact that he had been grabbed, those are all good facts for the defense. However, we still have a dead body here, and we still have his mother as the victim, and we also have the fact that this is not his first murder, if you will. So As a defense attorney, you try to minimize these prosecution witnesses' damage as much as possible, but you also understand that there is a dead body involved.